We are here at the 2022 Tribeca Film Festival speaking with
Sophie Galibert
and Alex Trewhitt.
Thank you so much for joining me today, ladies, and tell me a little bit about your film that's the official selection this year.
So this is my first feature film. It's called Cherry, and it's the story of Cherry, played by Alex Trewhitt. So Cherry is a 25 years old girl in LA. She's a roller skater, and she discovered that she's pregnant, and it's not planned. And the story is really about this 24-hour where she's gonna have to make a decision and to decide whether she will gonna keep or not the pregnancy.
Okay. Alex, how did this project come to you, and how was the process like to be cast for your role?
Yeah, it was different because it was still early pandemic and we were still kind of figuring out how to move forward in the industry. So I think it was maybe like early July of 2020.
Yeah, so we prepped July, August, and we shot at the end of September.
Yeah.
So yeah, between two COVID waves.
Yeah, so I got my tape request in July and then we had a Zoom call back and it was great. And then I got this really terrifying call from my agent that was like, okay, so they want to book you, but it's really contingent on these 2 skating lessons, if they think you can pick it up or not, because I'd never skated before. And so we did the 2 lessons, and we worked with Morgan Wesky from the LA Roller Girls, who were like amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like roller derby. It's like ice skating on roller skates is the best way I can describe it. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked with her for 6 weeks, and then we had a lot of rehearsals and. Our DP's also on roller skates.
Oh.
So yeah, it's bananas. So anytime I'm skating, he is actually also skating backwards and pulling his own focus. Damien's incredible, Damien Steck.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a trip. I don't think I've spoken with a cinematographer on roller skates while filming an actress on roller skates.
You definitely haven't.
There's a first for that, and I'm happy to have that and happy to hear that. Why did you make the choice to have your main actress also have so much skating involved with her character?
I mean, I think when we were writing the screenplay, at some point we were thinking, okay, we need something very unique that she can embrace. And actually, roller skating is really about balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you may fall, and you have to go down. You have to go back on feet. And so we thought that roller skating was very colorful and pop, and at the same time really embrace the story of making decision and not be sure, and this fine balance that you always have to find in life, right?
Right.
And of course, it brings this whole world of roller skating that actually I didn't know so much because I'm not a roller skater myself, but I love moonlight, roller skate in LA, and I'm absolutely fascinated by, all these Instagram girls who do crazy things on skates and things that I will never be able to do actually. But yeah, I really like this world. It's very actually fun, and they all have this crazy art. They really embrace the kind of womanhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's still very light, and I don't know, they're just super cool.
It was definitely very colorful. There were many costumes that were used in the play, and when your character works at a costume store when the movie starts. How did you choose that to be with her character, to be very colorful and work in the costume store?
So I'm a little bit obsessed with costume. Even when I was still living in France, in Paris, there is this little costume store in Paris that I'm obsessed with, and I don't know, it's a world where you can become anyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, I think it generates so much imagination to have all this possible character, all this possible life. So yeah, I'm really into costume, and when we were looking what kind of job she can have, gigs and stuff, I don't know, I thought about the costume store, and so we scouted every single costume store in LA.
Mm-hmm.
I took Damien, our DP, to actually really go to all of them, and we ended up in Arcadia, which is really close. It's LA County.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know that well. Very cool that you shot over there. And then I wanted to shift over to your character that you played, because I thought it was very interesting that when the story starts, she has a very childlike thought process to her. It's like her life is very much all over the place, and she's very scatterbrained, so to say. But then as the film goes on, you start to grow both in your character, and that showcases on screen. How did you nurture that choice for your character as you were shooting?
Yeah, I think that it was important for us to make it clear that Cherry could be anyone. Everyone probably knows a Cherry. And growing up is really tough, right? I think Cherry is one of those people who just kind of skated by with I can just work this job for a little while, or I'll just, maybe for my learner's permit, if I'm not gonna study, and then if I don't pass, then I'll study kind of deal. I think that it's just very much, she was kind of selfish in a way that she was really just living for herself and whatever worked for her. And I think that seeing the evolution of, okay, I am a young adult, I do need to figure out what is going to be best for me and not what's best for everyone else.
There was one scene that really stuck out to me that was very poignant when you were getting your ultrasound, and then you were listening, and then you asked to hear, to listen what was going on. How did you end up doing that when you were filming it? Did you have something playing in the background, or was that added in afterwards? Just your reaction on that was very strong.
Thank you.
I was just curious how you shot that.
So we didn't have any sound at all, actually.
It was I don't think you had sound. You just have like the screen.
Yeah, and there wasn't anything on the screen, so I just laid down and thought what that might be like. Yeah. Because it was honestly a choice that we went through back and forth if we would have a heartbeat or not.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because when we were like writing the screenplay, this scene, I think for me it was very important to have this scene, but we were like still thinking, is it going to be too much? Is it going to take the people out of the, you know? And even when we shot, we were like, maybe we need to do a version where we don't have this moment, but we ended up just shooting it. And I'm so glad because I think it's a good moment and I think it's important to have it. And what you need to know is we shot this movie initially in 7 one-shot. So each shot was like 15 to 20 minutes. So this moment is really at the end, actually. So Alex was acting for 15 minutes until we reached this point. So this whole like acting process where we couldn't cut the camera. So I think it brings you in a place where you just like melt into Cherry and you go with the emotion.
Well, it worked. It worked because it definitely struck a chord with me, and I thought that the film was very beautifully done, and I enjoyed watching it at Tribeca at home. But you have a couple more screenings that are going on at Tribeca in person. Do you know when and where those are going to be?
So it's going to be tomorrow, June 14th at 2 p.m. And it's going to be screened at Tribeca Screening Room, so you're all welcome to join us.
Wonderful. Where can people go to find out more about your work or your social medias or your website or things like that?
Yeah, I'm just Alex Trewhitt, and Sophie is
Sophie Galibert and S Galibert. Maybe you're gonna.
Yes.
So we do have an Instagram for like it's Cherry's the movie. We have an Instagram for the movie.
Yeah.
We both have Instagram, so reach out.
Wonderful. In closing, is there anything you'd like to say to the Tribeca Film Festival organization for the official selection this year?
What an honor.
Yeah, thank you.
We were so stoked. Sophie called me and then I saw the deadline article and I was just like, it's been a dream, the whole thing.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, really
Okay, we hope our audience is able to check out Cherry, and I want to thank you both for stopping by to talk to us about your film in this year's festival.
Thank you.
Thank you.